Welcome back. It's week 37 of Deck Trains. And what? It's another crocodile, it's another border, and another stamp in our passport. This week we're featuring Roco's model from the 1980s, number 43485, and Austrian Railway's 1020 locomotive. This is an electric locomotive. It's nearly identical to the Deutsche Bahn's E94. It's a mountain locomotive, and what that means to you and me is it has lower gearing to create more torque. I paired in part one a little bit of the rolling stock. It's the only rolling stock I have from the Austrian Railways. I have a Roco Gösser Bier, a Roco Stake Wagon, a Roco closed goods wagon, and two Fleischmann pieces that were in our first episode, the Austrian Railway's low open goods wagon and a high open goods wagon. The E94s were a war locomotive of the Deutsche Reichsbahn, and they began production in 1940 and were designed for freight use in the mountainous regions of southern Germany and, at that point, the neighboring conquered countries. They had a top speed of about 100 kilometers an hour or 62 miles an hour, and production ran, believe it or not, until 1957. Most of the retirements came between 1988 and 1995. After World War II, 44 of these Green Crocodiles were transferred to the Austrian Railways for service in the Alps of Western Austria. War reparations also moved some of these to the Soviet Union, but the Soviet Union did not care for them as carefully as the Austrians did, and we found this locomotive running late into the 90s in Austria. Sit back, enjoy the show, and watch this mountain locomotive do its thing. Yes, it's that time again. It's part two, and part two is we're going to bring back both of the Fleischmann track cleaning wagons to add to our Austrian rolling stock. We're going to bring back the early 5569 and the later 5568 track cleaning wagons, and the only difference between the two of them outside the color of the tarp is the fact that they have staggered cleaning discs in the new version, and they're parallel in the older version. Well, part two has a part two. We're going to keep the Fleischmann track cleaning wagons, but we're going to add some more Fleischmann stock instead of the Austrian Railway stock. We're going to add Shell Kessel wagons or petrol wagons. They're going to start as early as 1957 with the A1215, run through the 1465, the 1475, and this latest 1970 with the 1475S, which is a plastic version of the tank wagons. You'll notice this locomotive is not a green crocodile like the war locomotives were. Even the early ones in Austria were green. This has been repainted into the modern blood orange livery of the Austrian Railway. This type of consist, whether it's the tank wagons or the Austrian freight, you'd find this consist squealing its flanges along the curves of the steep inclines and ramps of the Austrian Alps. This unit would cross borders with Germany, or if you were in Germany, the E94 would cross borders into Austria every once in a while, because sometimes it was shorter to go through the neighboring country. These units also served as helpers in a lot of freight and also as primaries in some branch line passenger service. Now let's watch a little petrol go around the circle. Well, we're coming to the end of this episode, but would like to remind you that we're going to do another one, and next week will be a maintenance of way, no way, from Germany. So, enjoy. Thanks for watching this one. See you next week.